It's always about a number, that's with any type of traffic.
What's going on, my people? This is Bishop Grady, aka Professor Grady. We are going to get into a math lesson about addition. Now, what is addition? Addition is a part of arithmetic, and arithmetic being one of the fundamental principles of mathematics. And addition is like one of the fundamental principles of arithmetic, I would say, and therefore of all of math. Because you can't really do any math if you don't know how to add. Now, you shouldn't be watching this video if you don't know how to count yet. I imagine whoever is looking at this video either is in awe of the kid, or they actually want to either teach someone who's in grammar school or are in grammar school themselves. So if that is you, make sure you know how to count, and everything should flow fine. So what is addition? Addition is where you have an add-in plus another add-in, and however many add-ins you want, and add and combine those numbers, and that'll give you a sum. So if I have something like 7 plus 2 equals 9, or 7 plus 2 equals 9. This is an add-in. This is an add-in, and this is the sum, or the total. Alright, well, that's the terminology. Now, this, we're going to stick with single digit numbers. I will get into the addition of multiple digit numbers later on, because that has a certain algorithm to it. But the best way to understand addition is to start with a number line. So, we can start with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you didn't know how to count before, well, at least you know now how to count to 10, right? So if we have a number like, what is 7 plus 2? We essentially are just starting at 7 with that first number, 7, and then we add 2. All right, so how do we add 2? Well, we count to 2 going towards the right, because anytime you are adding, you are going in the direction of increasing numbers. So in this case, that direction is into the right, so we're going to go towards the right. So you start at 7, and then you add 2. Well, 7 plus 2, 1, 2, and that brings you at 9. Okay. So 7 plus 2 equals 9. And that will work out on your fingers as well, right? If I wanted, and that should work for any of these positive numbers. Any number greater than 0 is considered a positive number. So if we do 1 plus 5, you can start at 1 and count from 1 towards the right to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1 plus 5 is what? 6, exactly. 1 plus 5 equals 6, or 1 plus 5 equals 6. Or however you crazy kids are writing it today, you know what I mean? Because notation ends up changing, but the communication is still the same. Mathematics is a language, and when you understand that, you'll realize that you have to learn this in order to understand things about the rest of the world. Anybody who says they don't use it, they're using it and don't even realize it. You know what I mean? So I'll get into that later. But the great thing about addition and understanding this in this manner is it could be used in any other way. You can even count like this with your fingers. If I want to know what's 1 plus 3, well, I can start with one finger. I know how to count to 1, right? Because you should know how to count before you get to this video. All right, well, let me say, if I start with 1, and then I say, what's 1 plus 3? Well, I could just count 3 more fingers. 1, 2, 3. Now, how many fingers do I have up? 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I'll use these numbers. What's 7 plus 2? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, 7 plus 2. Now from here, let me count to 2 while adding fingers. 1, 2. All right, how many fingers do I have up now? 9. It's the same principle. Now, the beauty of using the number line is that it gives you an overstanding of what all is going on in mathematics, because you don't just have to deal with positive numbers, and that's just in life. You don't just have to deal with the positive, you also have to deal with the negative. So if we go over here, all right, we count some negative numbers. 1, -10, -9, -8, -7, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2. Now, a lot of people aren't really dealing with negative numbers until they get, I guess, at a later age, at an older age in grammar school. But with the number line, you could be in kindergarten and understand this. I know, because I teach this to my own children. You know what I mean? So the concept remains the same. Anytime you are adding, you are going in the direction where the numbers are increasing. So in this case, that is to the right. Anytime you are adding, you are going to the right. So even if I wanted to say, all right, well, what's 0 plus 4, right? You start at 0 and you count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 0 plus 4 equals 4. Now this highlights a very important aspect of math, which is that anything that is added to 0 equals itself. So 0 plus any number is going to equal that any number. But moving on, that same rule applies. It doesn't matter what number you use. So if I want to use -5, let me start at -5. Let me say, what is -5 plus 5? You have, what is negative? Now a lot of y'all know this because these numbers are inverses of each other, but I won't go into it that deep. -5, if you were to start at -5 and plus 5, you count to 5. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay. -5 plus 5 equals 0. All right. What if I were to say, what is -3 plus 7? -3 plus 7. Some of y'all, that may look complex, it may look foreign. If you're in kindergarten or first grade, a problem like this might intimidate you, but it is the same concept as long as you understand the number line. And the number line is also a great introduction or great lead into algebra, which certain people don't learn until they get into high school, really. So, you know, you if you're learning this in first grade, you know, you're ahead of the game. Now, -3 plus 7. All right, well, let's start here. -3, and then count to 7 while going to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. So -3 -3 plus 7 equals this number right here, which is 4. All right. We can even keep it in the negative. If I say, oh, well, what is -9 plus 5? -9 plus 5. And you know, I'll actually write this differently because I want to accentuate that this can always be written differently. So what is -9 plus 5 equal? Add in. What is the sum of -9 and 5? Okay, well, let's start at -9 over here. Again, when we add, we are going towards the direction of increasing numbers. All right. So if your debt is, if you're in a debt of $10 and somebody else is in a debt of $5. Well, their debt is less. They owe more. They owe less money than you. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, they kind of have more money, more credit, and You know, just to make it, just to give you a slight real world analogy. Nevertheless, this is increasing order. So we start at -9, add 5, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, where does that bring us to? Oh, okay. So -9 plus 5 equals -4. Adding, sum. So we're gonna keep this video short, you know what I'm saying? Just a slight introduction into all of mathematics. Definitely an introduction into arithmetic as well. And this is basic addition with single digit numbers. And we even got into the negative numbers, which some people don't even learn about until, you know, grades later. You know what I'm saying? You have a kid in kindergarten that can really understand this concept. So again, always try to use the number line. I know I overcrowded it right now, but nevertheless, it's the same concept. As long as you know what the numbers are. And this is essentially just you counting, just without having to use your fingers, you know? But yeah, welcome to mathematics.